fourth round of the UIM F1H2O World Championship returned to Shanghai, China after a 20-year hiatus. This much-anticipated event takes place at the Wusongkou International Cruise Terminal in Baoshan District, offering a stunning waterfront venue that serves as the perfect backdrop for this high-octane competition. As China's largest city, Shanghai is renowned for its futuristic skyline, anchored by the iconic Oriental Pearl Tower. Shanghai offers endless attractions for travelers looking to explore. From the bustling shopping mecca of Nanjing Road to the vibrant markets and alleyways of the Old Town, Shanghai provides an array of experiences to suit every interest. The Huangpu River slices through the heart of the city against a stunning mix of ultra-modern skyscrapers and historic landmarks like the Bund, which reflects Shanghai's rich colonial past. The F1H2O event garnered significant publicity, with the added appeal of the CTIC China team, providing locals with a national team to rally around. A lavish opening ceremony was held to unveil their new livery, set against the vibrant and electric backdrop of downtown Shanghai. A select few had the rare opportunity to experience the thrill and tremendous G-forces of the highest class racing boats riding in the F1H2O two-seater. Now let's see what happened in the previous round at the Italian Grand Prix of Regione Sardegna on the road to Sharjah. The UIM F1H2O World Championship returned to the stunning island of Sardinia for the Regione Sardegna Grand Prix of Italy. The picturesque port town of Olbia hosted the third round on the road to Sharjah. Victory Team's Eric Stark was leading the championship going into the weekend, but was off the pace in the qualifier and later struck a buoy. Sharjah Team's Canadian sensation Rusty Wyatt dominated the three qualifying sessions and claimed his first career pole position. Defending champion Jonas Andersson had to swap an engine before the race, which dropped him to 14th on the starting grid. At the rolling start, Daniel Kamzi in P2 attacked Rusty Wyatt on the outside, but the Canadian was first around the buoy and locked in the lead. In the battle for fourth, Team Vietnam's Stefan Arendt swept past Sam Bergen heading into the yellow right-hander, but the Estonian caught an edge and barrel rolled. The race was yellow flagged. At the restart, Canadian Rusty Wyatt was able to fend off Daniel Kamzi's fierce attack a second time. A battle for third was on between Peter Marin and Eric Stark, but Marin hooked the turn on a dime and secured third place. Stark's troubles didn't end there, as the Blue Victory boat pulled off the course in lap 7 and the points leader bowed out of the race. That moved Stromoy Racing's Bartek Marszalek into 4th, up from 8th. Team Abu Dhabi was on their way to a second-place podium when disaster struck and Daniel Kamzi broke down. Team Abu Dhabi was out of the race with 2 DNFs. Defending champion Jonas Andersson had managed to claw his way back up to 6th, but could not get past veteran Norwegian Marit Stromoy, driving the field's only 4-stroke engine. And so Rusty Wyatt took his second win of the season. Peter Marin finished second, and Stromoy Racing teammates Bartek Marszalek and Marit Stromoy finished 3rd and 4th. In the overall championship, Rusty Wyatt shot to the top, 14 points clear of defending champion Jonas Andersson in second, and 15 points ahead of Eric Stark in third. Prix of Shanghai, China featured a stacked lineup of 18 drivers from 9 teams ready to battle it out on the new racecourse on the mighty Huangpu River. The man to beat was Sharjah Team's Rusty Wyatt. The Canadian sent shockwaves through the field at the season opener in Indonesia, claiming a stunning last-gasp victory, and has since proved that his debut win was no fluke after dominating the last round in Sardinia, Italy. He leads the championship 14 points clear of Jonas Andersson.
So we've been really working on still some propeller setup and whatnot. There's always stuff going on the off time. So we're here now. I think we definitely got a few things we've worked on. So let's hope everything works out and bring the positive momentum into this weekend.
Along with his teammate, Finnish driver Philip Rom's Sharjah team is tied for first in the team championship standings with Team Vietnam. Team Vietnam's defending champion, Jonas Andersson, has faced a string of tough breaks this season. In Lake Toba, Indonesia, a breakdown mere meters from the finish line relegated him to third place, and in Sardinia, a last-minute engine change dropped him to 14th on the starting grid. Despite climbing back up to 6th, these setbacks have intensified the pressure to keep his title defense alive.
We have been testing a lot home. Unfortunately, the condition is very bad here right now, so nothing that I have been spending time with is working. So my goal is to beat Rusty, because if we get too many points, it's not possible for me to win the championship. And that's the goal this year, to win the championship for the new Team Vietnam, and we're going to do all we can.
Andersson's teammate, Stefan Arendt, has already proven he's a strong contender on the road to Sharjah, consistently fighting at the top. Victory Team's Eric Stark sits third in the championship, just 1 point behind Andersson. After securing their first win in Vietnam, a costly engine failure in Sardinia set back Stark's title challenge. Now, he must deliver in Shanghai to keep Victory Team's much-anticipated return to F1 on track.
Okay, I don't need to win, but I really need to be in front of Rusty and stay close to Jonas. But of course, a win would help so much. 3 races left, it's still a chance to catch up with Rusty. Race by race, we're just trying to do the best we can, and after the Sharjah race, we know how it ends.
His teammate, Emirati Ahmed Al Fahim, secured 4 championship points in Sardinia. All eyes were on China's CTIC team's Frenchman, the hard-charging Peter Marin, who is under pressure to deliver a win for the locals. He has taken podium finishes at the last 2 races and is only 25 points behind Wyatt, with 3 races still to run.
We are lucky to represent the China team, and especially here in Shanghai. The setup for the race is great, so we are very proud to represent them.
He races alongside American driver Brent Dillard, who's 13th in the Drivers' Championship. Sitting in 5th and 6th in the championship were Stromoy Racing's Bartek Marszalek and Marit Stromoy. Stromoy has been steadily improving as she tackles the complexities of running the only 4-stroke V8 engine. And Polish driver Bartek Marszalek's 3rd place in Sardinia, along with a pair of 5th place finishes, has pushed the team into 3rd in the team's championship. It has been a disappointing start to the season for Team Abu Dhabi. Veteran Thani Al-Khamzi has only scored points in 1 Grand Prix. His teammate Alberto Comparato has also suffered a series of mishaps and is 17th in the Drivers' Championship. 2-time world champion Sami Celio of Red Devil SMC F1 team sits 8th in the Drivers' Championship, with his teammate Dutchman Ferdinand Zandbergen in 11th. F1 Atlantic team's Ben Jelf is 10th, racing alongside Portuguese veteran Duarte Benavente. Finally, Maverick Racing rounds out the field with a French duo of Cedric Deguine and Alexander Bourgeot. The circuit is located at the mouth of the Huangpu River in the Baoshan district, featuring a classic 4-pin layout.
No, course is the old style one. I love it. So I love left-handers, so it's really nice and fast one.
The event coincided with a powerful nearby typhoon, bringing gusting winds and rough seas that made the conditions even more treacherous.
When you hear racers talking about a circuit where the weather is very tough, it's usually, oh yeah, every lap was different. But here, every straight was different, and there's 4 straights in 1 lap, so it's one lap you come straight is completely like no waves, no wind, very nice. And then you turn the corner and you're like at a different race course.
I don't know in this condition if it takes courage or stupidness, but it's something there between. It's very tricky because you don't see the waves, and when you see it, it's too late. So you just need to try to balance the boat and hope it will not fly up or dive down.
The qualifying session typically progresses through 3 stages to set the starting grid. However, with high winds and the unpredictable seas produced by the recent typhoon, officials opted for a single 40-minute session instead. Sharjah Team's Rusty Wyatt set the early pace, but Victory Team's Eric Stark took the lead 7 minutes into the session with a lap of 46.15 seconds. Wyatt responded at the 10-minute mark with an impressive 45.81 second lap, pushing Stark to second place, with Jonas Andersson holding steady in third. Meanwhile, Marit Stromoy was unable to lead the pontoon due to persistent electrical issues, forcing her team to work frantically in the pits.
The dashboard is not working. I don't have any steering, I have nothing. Electrical.
Her Polish teammate Bartek Marszalek struggled for pace and ended the session in 15th. Team Abu Dhabi's Alberto Comparato hovered around midfield in 8th, while his teammate Dani Al-Khamzi had to be towed back after just 2 laps due to a fuel issue.
I was doing good lap, and then I think go. I feel the boat slow down. So I turn, slow down, and then you tell me you are second. I do a good lap, but not really good. And then I feel the engine a little bit. I think water go inside. The condition for the course is not good, no safety, but we try our best, which we do.
It was all hands on deck as Team Abu Dhabi raced to get Al-Khamzi back on the water before the session's end. Local eyes were on the China CTIC team, but fortune was not on their side. Brent Dillard lagged in 13th, and while Peter Marin was in provisional 10th, he came to a stop and had to be towed off the course with a broken engine.
We have some engine issue, so we can nothing do now.
The engine could not be fixed and would have to be swapped out, forcing Marin to start from the back of the grid, a major disappointment for CTIC China. Maverick Racing's Cedric Deguin also came to a halt on the far side of the course, while his teammate Alexander Bourgeot finished slightly better in 16th. F1 Atlantic's Ben Jelf, showing steady improvement this season, managed to surpass Dani Al-Khamzi's time, taking provisional 7th. His teammate Duarte Benavente finished in 12th, just ahead of Dillard. Red Devil SMC's Savi Celio climbed to 6th, with his Dutch teammate Ferdinand Zandbergen finishing just ahead of him in 5th.
I didn't push one lap full throttle all the time. It's not possible because the waves are coming and you don't see them. So it's every time a surprise where they are. And it's a big risk to do a good lap, but we are 5th and we don't want to risk anymore.
Zandbergen's season-long Estonian rival Stefan Arendt dialed in a strong performance to secure 4th on the grid for Team Vietnam.
A bit of luck, a bit of just bravery, and then obviously a great boat and engine by Jonas, and a great propeller from my propeller guy, Luck Propellers.
With under 10 minutes remaining, conditions began to deteriorate as the tide rolled in. But Rusty Wyatt laid down a blazing lap with a 43.48 second lap, a full 1.25 seconds ahead of Anderson in second and 1.77 seconds ahead of Stark.
Canadian magic.
Oh, at the beginning of the session, it was so rough. We almost lost it once there coming in the front straight. So glad that didn't happen, but it was unbelievable out there. So windy, so choppy, so many boats to kind of find a good line, but we made it happen. Quite a gap we put together. So really glad, unbelievable boat.
Perfect. Thank you. The boat carries the boat slowly, full attitude, and it kept the rear in the water. I felt like they got no lift. It's perfect.
Despite their best efforts, the two Swedes couldn't match Wyatt's time.
In the end, Rusty, like what a man he is, pulling off that lap, and even Jonas, it's not easy. I tried until the end, but I cannot sacrifice everything. We still have a very long race, and everything can happen. So P3, it's okay, but it's, you know, you always want P1, but P3, I take it.
Yeah, the qualifying was really, really difficult. I think it was the most difficult qualifying as I remember in 20 years. It's not one even lap was the same like the other one, so it was just to risk it more. And then when Rusty was this fast in his lap, I say it is what it is, but I should be very happy to be second today because with my new boat, it's not made for this kind of rough water.
And so Rusty Wyatt on pole, Team Vietnam's Jonas Andersen in P2 and Stefan Arendt in P4. Victory Team Stark P3 while his teammate Alpha Him settled for 11th. Philip Roms starts in 14th. Marit Stromoy was unable to complete a lap. A grand gala dinner showcased the richness of local culture and cuisine, offering guests an elegant evening filled with traditional performances and exquisite regional delicacies. Race day saw gusting winds, driving rain, and tempestuous seas. But that didn't stop spectators gathering in the thousands to witness the battle and cheer for their local team. Despite facing what may be the season's most challenging conditions on the road to Sharjah, teams and drivers geared up for a race filled with calculated risks and high stakes.
It can be really dangerous because if you lose control of the boat in one big wave, you are flying directly, and especially in the turn, it's very easy to roll around. So
The rollers are there, sometimes not. It's coming from under the pillar of where we're standing now because it's open, and behind there there's a storm. So
yeah, the conditions are tough. It's so hard to read the water because the waves are coming from every angle, I feel like, and bouncing off the break wall and coming back. So, you know, just got to drive to our ability and have some fun.
The starting grid, Rusty Wyatt on pole, Eric Stark in third, sandwiched between Team Vietnam's Andersen and Arendt in second and fourth. Behind them, Red Devil SMC, Zandbergen and Celio in fifth and sixth. Then Jelf P7, Daniel Kamzi in eighth. The odds are stacked against CTIC China, with Brett Dillard in 12th and Peter Marin with a daunting challenge, a fight back from 16th. Teams struggle to keep their boats steady on the pontoon as gusting winds whip across the water. Jonas Andersen makes a last-minute propeller change while officials announce a switch to a rolling start for safety. The crowd holds its breath as the 18-strong field motors out, braving the fierce conditions. Race director Luis Ribeiro waits for the boats to line up in the correct order and can signal the start at any moment. And there it is, the green flag is up. Jonas Andersen on the attack. The Swede surges ahead, passing Rusty Wyatt. But the Canadian has the inside lane and is first around the buoy. Andersen gets washed down back into second. Eric Stark is third, Arendt fourth, Zandbergen fifth. Daniel Kamzi makes a move on the outside and passes F1 Atlantic's Ben Jelf into 7th. Al-Kamzi now chasing Celio in 6th. At the back, Peter Marin is charging forward, passing Cedric De Guin, then Bartek Marszalek on his inside. He continues past Duarte Benavente to his starboard side, Peter Marin moving up the ranks into 13th, with his sights now set on Philip Roms. Rusty Wyatt leads through the choppy seas as the boats fight to maintain contact with the water, battling the relentless waves. Andersen in P2, Stark P3. Daniel Kamzi gets big air, but he lands it and presses on. Peter Marin on the warpath, giving it all through the rough, catches up with Roms to his outside, Ahmed Alpha Him on the inside. Marin tries to squeeze through, going full throttle into the next turn. He does it. Marin up another 2 positions, now in 11th. Incredible racing from the CTIC China driver. Entering lap 2, Wyatt with over a 5-second gap to Andersen. Eric Stark is on the attack, aggressively pursuing Andersen. The 2 Swedes locked in a battle for second. They approach backmarker Murat Stromoy. The Norwegian is not having a good day, back in 17th. Chinese fans are getting an exhilarating performance from Peter Marin, working his way up the field. The Frenchman now reels in Brent Dillard and Alberto Comparato. Peter Marin stays tight on the inside and passes both drivers up into 9th. In the battle for 4th, Ferdinand Zandbergen is in hot pursuit of Team Vietnam's Stefan Arendt. Behind, Thani Alkamzi in 6th, waiting for an opportunity to pounce. Alkamzi takes the inside while Zandbergen chooses the wider lane on the outside. The young Dutchman in the Red Devil SMC boat pushes on the outside up to the next left-hander. He powers around the turn and passes Stefan Arendt. Ferdinand Zandbergen surges ahead and locks in 4th place. Sami Celio pulls off the course. The Red Devil SMC driver is out.
Yeah, I had so much fog in the screen. The air ventilation, it was pointing wrong, so I couldn't see the waves anymore. It was too dangerous. So.
That moves F1 Atlantic's Ben Jelf into 6th, but CTIC China's Peter Marin has tracked down the UK driver. The two boats are sponson to sponson, barreling towards the left-hander, both at the limit of control. Peter Marin has the speed and passes into 7th place, having gained 9 hard-fought positions in just 4 laps, an extraordinary feat in these conditions. Positions remain the same in the front. Rusty Wyatt untouchable in the lead. Anderson P2 trying to fend off the aggressive Eric Stark. Alkamzi is giving Stefan Arendt hard chase, trying to find a way around the Estonian. The Emirati goes wide, trying to gain speed on the outside, but he catches a wave and goes right through the buoy. That'll be a penalty for the Team Abu Dhabi driver. Entering lap 6, conditions are deteriorating, but the pace is unyielding. In the battle for 2nd, Eric Stark has Jonas Anderson under immense pressure. Anderson approaches Stark's teammate, backmarker Ahmed Al-Fahim, who's in Anderson's path. The defending champion has to thread by Al-Fahim, coming around the left-hander. Eric Stark attacks on the outside. The 3 boats turn in unison. Anderson able to maintain a razor-thin lead. The 2 Swedes risk everything over the treacherous waves as they push their limits, going all out. Anderson on the inside gets a big bump. Stark gets huge air. He crashes down hard with pieces flying off his boat. Here it is again. Anderson lands and catches a wave which shunts him off the race line. Stark somehow lands it and keeps it going. Eric Stark snatches 2nd as Anderson veers off the racing line. Victory Team's Eric Stark, with an incredibly risky pass, locks in 2nd place. Jonas Anderson doggedly pursues his fellow countryman, trying to get back his position. But it's too late. Luis Ribeiro throws up the red flag and ends the race in lap 11 due to the worsening conditions. And with that, Rusty Wyatt takes his 3rd win of the season. Celebration for Team Sharjah. Eric Stark nabs 2nd place, Jonas Anderson 3rd, Ferdinand Zandbergen 4th, and Stefan Arendt 5th. Peter Marin delivers for CTIC China in 6th, up 10 positions after Alkamzi is knocked back for hitting a buoy.
It was like amazing, sometimes risky. We are finally happy to finish in the top 6. We start from 16. It was a little bit rough.
It was okay start, and then I was feeling the boat was feeling really well, and I was catching up Jonas and was able to stay behind him and quite close to him. So, we were equal down after the start and finish line, and it was a really big jump for both of us. And we landed on the side, and I don't know, somehow we made it on the right way. So,
no, I mean it was really rough, and when you have a flying start, it's not easy. And Rusty had a better setup than me and was just going, and then I just tried to control the gap to Eric. But in the end, we're ending up with his teammate, and he blocked me, and then Eric passed me. So after that, it was just trying to get the 3rd place home. I mean, Victor was close to me in the turn.
Oh. Did you make the turn?
Yes.
Yeah, you just went
it was
like
outside,
this.
and
Yeah.
now, bang!
Yeah.
I should be so lucky to finish because the boat was like this.
Oh, no.
Again.
Only half points are awarded as only a third of the race is completed. Consequently, in the team championship standings, Team Sharjah sits just a point and a half ahead of Team Vietnam, with Stromoy Racing in third place.
Yeah, we got 3 now, 3 out of 4. So hopefully we can keep the good times rolling. It's looking good. The boats, everything is perfect for what we're into right now, and we got a little bit more of a technical course there next week or 2 weeks from now. So I'm looking forward to that for sure, and hopefully the weather's a little better.
In the Drivers' World Championship standings, Rusty Wyatt maintains his lead, 13.5 points clear of Eric Stark in second. But just a half point separates Stark from defending champion Jonas Andersen. Peter Marin is fourth and Bartek Marszalek fifth. The F1H2O World Championship flag is officially handed over to the hosts of Round 5 in Zhengzhou, China. See you there for another round on the road to Sharjah UIM F1H2O World Championship.